To get started, click the Explore Data tab on the menu. This map of the U.S. shows dominant religion by state in 2010 based on the number of adherents. You can see that of the 9 largest denominational families listed in the map's legend, 19% of the entire U.S. population adheres to Catholicism, while nearly 8% of the U.S. population, primarily located in the Deep South, claims to be Baptist. Information icons throughout the site provide instructions, definitions, and other details to guide you in your exploration. This icon gives some key definitions about congregations, members, and adherents. For additional definitions and terminology, visit the Glossary tab of the menu. For a tabular view of these data, click the Data Table icon. You can copy this to your clipboard and paste it in Excel for further manipulation. Additional icons allow you to save and print your map or view in full screen. The footnote icon provides a PDF of detailed data documentation, which lists sources of data as well as limitations and uses of data. The last icon allows you to capture your visualization as an image. Once you capture your image, you can view it in your gallery. You can capture as many images as you like and save or print them from your gallery in high resolution. Let's return to the map. Clicking the gradient fill box allows you to see the degree of predominance within each family. For example, you can see that while California and Texas are both predominantly Catholic, California has a greater percent of Catholic adherents at 27.4% than Texas has at 18.5%. Note that hovering your mouse over each state reveals the percent population adhering to the largest denominational family. Indiana, for example, is predominantly Catholic, with 11.5% of the population adhering. Clicking on a state reveals a diversity within the state. From here, let's explore several trends and topics. The slider bar above the legend allows us to change the map to show the second most dominant family per state. We discovered that the second dominant religion in the Deep South is Methodist, but we also begin to see much more variation in denominational families across the U.S. The variation increases further as we slide from the second largest family to the third, to the fourth, and so on. Let's slide back to the largest family per state. Another slider bar at the top left of your screen shows how the denominational rankings have changed over time. Here are the largest denominational families in the year 2000. Note that in 2010, Texas was predominantly Catholic, with 18.5% of the population adhering. But a decade earlier, Texas was predominantly Baptist, with 21.4% adhering. As we continue to slide the bar to the right to explore other years, we come across a data alert. Click on the Learn More link to explore the data availability matrix. This data availability guide explains which types of data, adherents, members, and congregations are available and by which year. The guide goes on to document available data by religion, family, and denomination. Note that prior to 1971, adherent data are not available, but member data and in some cases congregation data are. Let's go back to the map. Now that we've looked at adherents, let's explore congregations. The map now shows which congregations are predominant in each state. To drill further into a state's religious landscape, we can click on that state and view a pie chart that shows the breakdown of its congregations. Recall that Indiana is predominantly Catholic in terms of adherents, but the majority of congregations are Pentecostal in holiness. This is because Catholic congregations tend to have a larger number of adherents than congregations of other denominations. We can also view this map at a more detailed geography, by state, by region, or by county. Let's take another look at Indiana. Note that you have the same flexibility to explore at the state level that you had at the national level. You can also explore regions by religion characteristics. Let's look at adherence, choose central authority, and let's look at a national level. The map now shows the states with a higher percentage of adherence of denominations with a strong central authority. Recall from our first map that the Deep South is predominantly Baptist. We can see that fewer people in the South adhere to denominations that have a strong central authority. Utah, on the other hand, is represented by the darkest color. This is because Utah is predominantly Mormon, and Mormons are highly authoritarian. You can also drill into a particular family or denomination to see the spatial distribution of adherents, membership, or congregations. Let's look at Catholic. The map now shows the distribution of Catholic adherents in the United States. At any point, you can filter the map with various socioeconomic variables to view as a layer over the religion data. Choose Hispanic population, and let's look at a minimum population percentage of 20%. Now, in addition to looking at states with high percentage of Catholic adherents, we can also see the states that have a percentage of Hispanic population between approximately 20 and 50%. Now that we've explored the data through the lens of a traditional map, let's look at some alternative visualization tools. A cartogram provides an interesting way to explore the magnitude of differences by geography. Earlier in the demonstration, I captured an image of a traditional map. Let's capture an image of this cartogram to compare the two. Click the side-by-side view to see both maps on the same screen. California and Texas are primarily Catholic in terms of adherence. The cartogram exaggerates the size of these two states to show that they have a significantly larger Catholic population than the other states. This makes sense since their overall population is also significantly larger. Note that Utah is about the same size in both maps, but Wyoming is much smaller in the cartogram than in the traditional map, for two reasons. Wyoming has a very small population, and Mormons do not predominate the state nearly as strongly as they do in Utah. Next, let's look at a tree map. This shows the predominant religion families by adherents and congregations in the U.S. Again, you can change the geography to look at religion data by state or county. The size of the boxes represents the predominant religion families by adherents, and the color represents the predominant families by congregation. So in Indiana, Catholic adherents are dominant, while Methodist and Pentecostal have the greatest number of congregations. You can also drill down within one religion family and layer U.S. Census data to see if demographic and economic variables relate to choice of religious affiliation. For size, let's look at Catholic adherents. For color, let's choose Hispanic population. The counties represented by larger boxes have the most Catholic adherents per total population. The counties represented by darker colors have the higher Hispanic populations. Motion charts can be helpful when you want to present your data in a time series animation. They can show up to 5 dimensions or variables in each chart. The color of the bubble represents one variable, the size of the bubble represents another, each bubble represents a geography, and the X and Y axes each represent a variable. Click play to animate. This animation demonstrates how the adherents by state have shifted over the past 40 years. To focus on the changes within one state over the years, select the state from the menu. We can explore this data in the form of a bar chart, which can also be animated. Finally, you can view the data in a line chart, which illustrates the trends over time. All of these visualization tools use the same selection tools and are available to you within 1 to 3 clicks of the mouse. So click the Explore Data tab and discover trends and relationships that interest you.